Hi there, how are you doing? Welcome once again to my channel. My name is Millicent Oloo. To my returning subscribers, thank you very much for joining me on this journey. Let's keep going. And to my new subscribers, a very warm welcome to you. This channel is about inspiring women to grow by addressing their insecurities. Insecurities at work, at the home front. I know women juggle with so much, and sometimes what gets in the way is internal insecurities that we have that hinder our ability to explore our potential to the fullest. So to my beautiful ladies, a very warm welcome, and I hope you find today's episode quite insightful. So in today's episode, I will be following up a conversation that we started on fear of failure and why we are so scared. So in the last episode, we looked at some things or some factors that make us be so afraid to fail. In today's episode, I want us now to look at how do we overcome? How do we overcome failure? Because failure is part of life. It's not necessarily a bad thing. We encounter things, we go through experiences in the process of trying out new things as women, as we are pursuing our dreams and ambitions. I mean, failure is bound to happen. But then what should we do? Once you encounter failure, is that the end? So I want to share with you a few insights that I have to help you. But before I get into it, let me just say this. If you're really struggling, even after listening to some of the tips I have, you realize that you're really struggling and you cannot bring yourself to move forward, I really encourage you to seek professional help. Seek counseling support so that you're able to address any underlying issues that are hindering you from moving forward. And the first point is acceptance. Accept the situation. Accept that you tried something and it failed. This is very important to own. And what am I talking about here? You see, when you fail, a lot of things happen to you. A lot of changes happen in your body. Your self-esteem could be affected. You feel you're not confident anymore. You may feel you're not worth it anymore. You may feel you don't deserve, and so much more. So it's important that you accept the failure, not accepting you as a failure. So for example, let us say you have lost a significant relationship. Let us say you've lost a job. It is important to accept that that job is over. That relationship has ended. The journey of acceptance takes time, and different people have different abilities to move forward. So give yourself the time that you need to come to terms with the reality. And the new reality is you're no longer in the situation you used to be. You're no longer doing whatever thing it is that you are doing. It's no longer there. Accept that. And part of accepting is getting in touch with your emotions. Don't run away from that. Allow yourself to feel the loss. Allow yourself to feel the hurt. Allow yourself to really just get in touch with what your body, with what your emotions are telling you. So once you accept, you own your emotions, and it's okay. It's okay to say, I feel sad, I feel disappointed, I feel heartbroken. But it's okay. That is how I feel, and I own it, and I accept that this has happened. But then what next? Okay, we have to move on. The second point is adopt a healthy coping mechanism. Now, what happens when you go through a failure, whatever it is. For now, maybe I think I will focus mainly on two: loss of a job and loss of a significant relationship. And I know there are many other failures, but I'm focusing on these two because I relate with them the most. I've gone through those experiences, losing a job and losing a significant relationship. So when I talk about adopt a healthy coping mechanism, I know it's not easy, because immediately you lose or you feel disappointed or you feel like your world has been torn apart. Some people get into unhealthy habits. Some people get into drinking. Others get into isolation and completely cut off everyone. But then how do you draw the line between healthy and unhealthy? For me, I will say unhealthy is when you prolong. If it's isolation or indulging, it goes on for so long that now it leads to other negative consequences. So once you've accepted the situation, just try and look around. What support do you need? How do you think you can cope in a healthy way? And for me, healthy way means just finding habits or finding what works for you, something you can start doing to help you deal. It's important to remember that your emotions influence your behavior. So if you're really feeling sad for a prolonged period of time, it's going to lead to something. It's going to lead to other negative consequences. So if you're really isolating yourself, with time you're going to lose a support system. With time people will start distancing themselves away because now it seems you want to be on your own. So it's important that you identify and you be aware of the kind of habits you're engaging in and evaluate. Ask yourself, the thing that I am doing to deal with this failure, how is it helping me? Is it helping me to recover, or is it leading to more problems? I'm really trying to avoid to tell you what that healthy coping mechanism will be. I would rather tell you a way to evaluate and see, is what I'm doing healthy or not? Now, the third thing in terms of dealing with failure is to let you know that you are not defined by your failure. The incident that has happened does not define you. I know, for example, in the instance of losing a job, we attach a certain kind of identity with our jobs. Maybe you are a manager, maybe you had a prestigious position, maybe you are working in a prestigious company, and so your identity was attached to that. And therefore, when you lose that, you feel you've lost yourself, you've lost who you are. But you are not your job. And this is something that I would like to encourage you to really reflect about, my beautiful ladies, and anyone really watching me. Even when you're in that job, constantly ask yourself and constantly try to find who you really are. Who is Millicent in this role? If this role is stripped away from me, who am I? And it's important to be able to find and identify really who you are you as a person, so that when certain titles are stripped away from us, your self-confidence is not shattered. And even if it's shattered, you're able to get back up very quickly. So you're not defined by your failure. I would say you're actually defined by your resilience and your ability to move on. It's not the number of times you've failed, but it's the number of times that you can get up. So get back up. Get back up as many times as you need to, because that shows who you are, that shows your strength, that shows your resilience. Okay? So you don't need to be afraid of failure. Always tell yourself, even if I fail, I will try again. Dust yourself up and keep trying. Try something else. Set a new goal. Try something else and set a new goal. Sometimes, especially if it's a very significant relationship or a job, like I said, the failure or the impact it leaves in your life can be very devastating. So in terms of recovering and overcoming, you could consider setting smaller goals or small steps to help you overcome. What am I talking about, small steps? There are milestones to coming to terms with losses, with disappointments in our lives. Of course, there's that phase we know where you're feeling emotional, and crying and whining and complaining. That's fine, but then don't stay in that phase too long. Start setting small goals that can help you feel you're regaining your self-confidence. And I really mean a small goal as committing to, for you, my beautiful ladies, it could be, I will start getting up early in the morning. I will make my bed. I will take a shower, and I will make sure I look good. I will make sure I dress well, and I will step outside. It could be committing to a small goal of, I will start getting ready in the morning to prepare my kids for school. I mean, in our busy work, sometimes maybe we leave this kind of duties to our house manager, but you could commit and say, I commit for the next few months, I will be responsible for taking care of my children in the morning, getting them ready, seeing them off to school, or I will commit to being home and supporting my children with homework. Or it could be, I will commit to doing some house chores in the house. Before I sleep, I will make sure I clean the dishes, I wipe and keep them away. Whatever it is, set a small goal that you will easily conquer, so that you start feeling I'm achieving, and then slowly build up on that. Maybe say, now I'll start stepping out. I will go visit family. I will go visit friend. I will go to church every Sunday. So set tiny goals as you build up on that to regain your self-confidence. Once you feel your energy and once you feel your energy is back, then revisit what are your bigger plans. If it is a job that you lost, then now what do you need to actively start doing? Do you need to start, once again, meeting people, sending your CV, and so on and so forth? Something else that I always talk about is stay positive. If there is someone you can call a queen of, is that something like positivity? I think I am. And you can say it's a coping mechanism, but for me, it's more than that. You see, when you're positive and you remain positive, it has a way of pushing you forward. It has a way of keeping you hopeful. Even if you have not figured out the next step, and you don't have to, just believe, just know that things will work out. There's light at the end of the tunnel. I know sometimes it's hard and you cannot even see the tunnel itself. And I'm telling you this because I have been there. I've been in situations where it's really dark. I don't even know what to do next. But I will tell you, my beautiful ladies, one thing that has always held me is remaining positive and remaining hopeful. Just knowing that I know it is so hard at the moment, I feel devastated, I don't know what to do. But I just know somehow that there is hope. And that leads me to my last point, where I always encourage people and I encourage myself, just pray. Pray and find strength talking to God. Sometimes when we lose something, or when we are going through a difficult time, people may not understand. Sometimes they don't. And sometimes you can even be told you brought it upon yourself. Maybe you got advice, don't do that. Change something. If you don't, you're going to lose your job. If you don't, you're going to lose that relationship. Maybe some advice was given to us along the way that we did not take heed. That's fine. So when the failure happens, people can blame us, and people can tell us, but I told you, you brought this upon yourself. So they may not really understand the internal journey. They may not understand the internal processes that you've gone through to reach to where you are. And so sometimes I find that praying and talking to God about it. God has created us. God loves us. In any case, He knows our coming and going. He knows us. Even the things that we are hiding from others, God knows. So you cannot hide anything from God. So I encourage you to pray. Talk to God about it. Let Him know how you feel. You know, in the last episode, I was telling you that we are all created for a purpose. You're not in this world for nothing, my dear. You are created for a purpose. And so when you feel no one is understanding you, talk to God about it. Tell God that you need Him to help you find the way. And I tell you that God is going to show you the way. Because He loves us and you're created in this world to do something. On that note, I would like to really encourage you to embrace who you are, embrace where you are. If you're at a season where you've gone through a difficult time, you've gone through disappointments, you've gone through failure, it's okay. It's part of life, okay? And remember, the event or those experiences don't really define who you are, but how you overcome. And failure is part of the journey. I know we have had many stories, and some of the greatest stories are of people who have failed and overcome. And something I've personally learned, and I know you have also heard stories and experiences of many great people. Some of the greatest lessons in life are learned through failure. It is only when you fail that you're able to draw some life lessons, and it's only when you fail that you get significant insight into greatness. Some lessons you cannot learn until you fail. So failure is part of success. Failure is not a bad thing, but it's all about how you overcome. It's all about your attitude and your mindset towards it. So I hope you've found the insights I've shared in this episode insightful. I hope you feel confident. I hope you feel encouraged to move forward. I hope you feel encouraged to dust yourself. Cry a little bit, but then, hey, move forward. Keep rising up, keep conquering. Thank you so much for tuning in. I upload videos every Sunday at 3 p.m. East African time. Every Sunday at 3 p.m. East African time, tune in to my channel and let us talk, let us grow together, let us motivate one another. And I would really love to hear from you. What have been your experiences? How have you overcome? Let us have an exchange. Let us talk to one another. Comment and share. Let us inspire one another. Until next time, I want to wish you a beautiful week ahead. And to my beautiful ladies, you've got this. You have greatness within you, and don't ever doubt that. Until next time, God bless you.